The issue of Juana Martinez being prohibited from speaking Garifuna at her workplace at CIBC First Caribbean's Dangriga branch has raised the ire of the Garifuna community at home and abroad. While country manager Glenn Smith declined an interview with News 5 to comment on the issue, Matera Shepard, the outspoken president of the Christian Workers Union, which represents the bank's employees, condemned the position of the lending institution.
The employees of First Caribbean Bank are members of the Christian Workers Union. The issue that you're having right now in terms of discrimination against people speaking Garifuna is an issue that has been brought to the union, and so as the president of the union, CW has been made abreast of it and we are looking into it. What has happened, the bank wrote me and asked me for a meeting to deal only with the Garifuna issue, and they wanted to have a separate part, a different meeting to meet with the person who is the victim in this situation. We at the union took the position that we're not going to have two separate meetings and we're not going to have any meeting that affects any member without that member being present. So we wrote a letter to the bank and said, can we have one meeting? We're still awaiting their response. We have since then written them another letter and asked them to give us all documentation that is relevant to this case. They have not responded yet because it's beyond just the discrimination in terms of the language, but we believe that our client, our member, has been victimized in other forms, and so we are waiting for that documentation. We have not received it. After we received it, we will go to a meeting because there has to be full and frank disclosure if we are going to discuss someone's rights. I mean, this is your right to work. This is your right as an employee.
The matter came to light recently when Dr. Theodore Aranda, a resident and well-known activist from that municipality, gave an exclusive account detailing instances in which Martinez has been reportedly reprimanded for speaking her native tongue with others while transacting business at the bank.
I see that the bank went ahead and issued a press release, and if you read the press release properly, you will see that, one, we never made any claims that anybody was suspended, at least not from the union. This matter took a life of its own before. When we got into it, clearly there were details out there that we never knew of at the time. But if you read the press release, clearly it is saying that the official language is encouraged to be spoken in public spaces and that you can speak your own language in private conversations. Anybody who's smart enough will understand that that means that don't speak your native language in our public space, and our public space is when you're dealing with customers. The reality of Belize is a very diverse country. Anybody, I speak Spanish, and I meet my friends that speak Spanish, I automatically break into Spanish. I am a service-oriented person. I speak the language of the people when I'm dealing with them. It's a simple case of that. But like I said, it's deeper than that, but I think the bank and everybody in Belize needs to be minded that under the United Nations Convention on the Right of Indigenous People, Garifuna are classified as indigenous people. These articles of the convention guarantees you the right to your identity and to speak your language at all times.
Interestingly, the bank, in corresponding with Matera Shepard, has requested that the matter not be discussed publicly, including within the realm of social media.
I did get a letter from the Director of Industrial and Employee Relations from their headquarters, which is in Barbados, and I really think it's high-minded. It shows you the kind of issue I have to deal with, where they actually believe that they can write me and tell me not to make any comment, not on Facebook or any else, you know, when they've issued their own press release as well, and they never consulted me. They're talking about a partnership, but partnership in this situation goes both ways. And if there was a genuine partnership, I would say publicly that when they decided to go after our member, they should have also had the courtesy to contact us. We've never stifled them to do what they want to do.
Matera Shepard says that the matter of CIBC First Caribbean's restriction fails to take into consideration the demography of Dangriga.
It is vastly affected by the demography because you can't go set up shop in a community that is predominantly Garifuna and not expect to cater to the needs of that. It's good customer service for you to be able to deal with people in the language they feel comfortable with. I have gone to Corozal to do business at the bank, and we've spoken only in Spanish, and that's different banks, of course. I've never had a problem with it. I have had to represent clients that speak only Spanish. I've had to represent Mexicans who speak only Spanish, and no bank has told us that the clients or all the customers, all the employees cannot speak in Spanish. So I think there's a matter of sensitivity, and we're hoping for this individual that we are able to go deeper and find out what's happening. But like I said, it's more than just the issue of the language.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Kaetano.